And 9 for a 9's how the fuck we feel. When they get one of us, then we're out to kill. I don't care about shit when it goes down like that. The only thing on my mind is the big payback. They get one of us, we get 3 or 4. If that ain't satisfaction, then we're out to get more.
Fuck a drive-by, puto, we'll walk to your door.
Kill you motherfuckers and we'll even the score. We wait for you putos to forget and slip. Then we'll catch you in the streets and unload the fucking clip.
Another puto dead from the other side. Now we wait for the funeral and watch your parents cry. Feeling no remorse for the shit we do. Those putos did it to us, so why not do it to them fools?
The killing doesn't stop, it goes on. It says smoking motherfuckers till these putos are gone. And 9 for a 9's what the shit's all about. Rolling up on these levels, taking these pendejos out. Doing it for the homies who ain't here today. Because as long as I live, in my heart they gonna stay. All I do now is think about them in my head. And it's a fucked up feeling now, knowing that they're dead. It's payback time and it's a do or die. I'm doing it for my homies, rest in peace above the sky.
At the hood with the homies getting loaded, kicking back, thinking about the motherfucking crazy payback. It's time to get these motherfuckers for the shit they shouldn't have done. Another homicide, another brutal gone. Kill or be killed, it's the name of this game. Doing it for the hood, the homies, and the gang fame.
This shit won't stop, so fuck keeping the peace.
I'm a local motherfucker gang banger from the east. Rolling down the calle and I just smoked the dick. With the weapon in my hand, so now I'm ready to trip. Thinking about my homies who ain't here today. And I'm gonna get these putos, cause for this they gotta pay.
Creeping late at night through the neighborhood, rolling with the lights out to catch a boot on doing good. Not giving a fuck about the time it carries. Just flashes up my homies and when they got buried. With a knot in my throat and a tear in my eye, we come across this puto whose time it is to die. He's strolling down the street and doesn't even realize we got a bullet for his ass to go right between his eyes.
Got out the car cause I knew I caught him slipping. He looked and tried to run when he see my ass creeping. Jumped at the puto, hit him up, where you from? He said the wrong shit, so he took one to the dome. Down the puto fell, I guess I'll meet the fucking hell. See when he see my face, but a dead puto can't tell. Jumped in the ride, headed back to the east side. Kicked it with the homies, then we all got high. Smoked a few wet ones and went home and hit the sack. Fell to sleep thinking about the fucking payback.
Best intro song ever, I'm telling you. All right, people. So, good morning, Southern California. Another day in paradise. Welcome to the Robert Escobar Show. Welcome to the end of the world, people. This is it. Is this it? Is this the end of the world that we knew or that we know? Morning, Nancy. Good to see you. How you doing? What are you up to these days, huh? Living it up? When are you going to come down and visit me? I'm telling you, man. Lunch is on me, Nancy. Dinner and drinks, Nancy. Just be gentle with me. Just be gentle. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Anyways, all right. So, what are we doing today? We're watching. Shout out to Predictive History and Professor Jiang. Shout out to this guy. All right. I've been watching his. What? Oh no. Broke your wrist? Nancy, what were you doing? Oh, Nancy. What shenanigans? What shenanigans did you get up to now? How'd you hurt yourself? How'd you break your wrist? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to tell me. Email me.
I hope everyone had a nice break, and welcome back to the end of the world.
Welcome
so
back
as you
to the
know,
end of the
World War
world.
III has started.
World War III has started, people. That's a bold claim. Welcome to the end of the world. Welcome back to the end of the world. I don't know. I kind of want to. I feel like changing the title of the show from "Good Morning Southern California" to "Welcome to the End of the World." I mean, that's basically what we're talking about here, man. Like, that's what I've been talking about, right? I mean, that's why they're not going to give us healthcare. They're never going to give us fucking healthcare. Nancy. Oh, Nancy. Oh. I mean, that's the only way to do it, right? I mean, come on. You're going to break your wrist doing something. You want to do it. You want it to be that.
States in Israel.
Thank you for that, Nancy. Thank you. I needed that.
Have started to a nice break, and welcome back to the end of the world. So as you know, World War III has started. The United States and Israel have started to attack Iran.
Okay, and so that's really what we're talking about. I think that's really what I've been talking about, like the last couple of years, how this really is the end. Like we've peaked as a country. I'm sorry, people, but like 2007, was probably the peak, or 2008, just after that, or maybe even sooner, maybe like 9/11. I mean, maybe 1999. Well, I mean, when do you think we peaked, Nancy? I mean, what? Okay, here's a question. Here's a question to everybody, okay? What event, really, really in the last, I don't know, 10, 20 years, really cemented or red-pilled you, where you're like, okay, what's the point? Like, what is the point of and you know what I think? You know what I think for me? Do you guys remember that guy, that journalist? What was his name? The journalist who was murdered. Khashoggi. There we go. Khashoggi. Okay. Do you guys remember this? This really proved it to me that, like, we live in a world where the rich can murder journalists in broad daylight. I mean, look into this story and tell me that this proves that there's no like, imagine, walking into a public building in broad daylight. Meanwhile, your spouse is in your car outside and listens to you being murdered by these people, and you can do nothing. You call the police, and what are the police going to do? they can't even go in the building. We've created a system where someone can be being murdered inside a building, but because they're in an embassy and that's sovereign, or or they're somehow their land. I mean, and what other journalist? I mean, what journalist is going to go and get murdered? Or if journalists are being murdered and not being held accountable, like when I mean, the United States should have, murdered the guy who. But I mean, like, dude, that's another fucking thing, like. Yeah. And so that to me, I still think about that. Like, imagine, like, that's crazy, dude. Like, there's no justice in this world. You're joking. You're joking if you think we live in a world that's like fair. And like, like I was trying to explain to G the other day, where, she was like, oh, all the vaccine information is independent study. Like, if there was proof, you don't think that these people would murder and chop up their fucking kids to keep it a secret? What are you fucking talking about? That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with fucking monsters. And so I don't know, guys, but I'm just like so fucking paranoid. Like, honestly, like, all I think about is like, fuck, like, I need to protect myself and my daughter because these people are fucking monsters. So that's what we need to do, people. What is the plan? I mean, how are we gonna, like, until it's your fucking kid, then maybe you'll understand.
And we are now in the 4th day of this war. And we can expect this war to last for many weeks, possibly also for many years. But I promise you that after this war is done, the world will never be the same again.
And see, this is a bold claim. And this is what worries me, that he's right. So, I mean, how many countries have been attacked by Iran? How many countries have been attacked by Iran? $11 countries. 11 fucking countries. Because why? Why? Because we have bases in all these fucking countries, right? Jesus. 12 fucking or 11 countries? 11 or 12? Exactly. So it's going to be your kids. You know what I mean? Like they're going to, like he said in the video yesterday, like, claim some kind of war powers and try to delay elections and try to run for a third term. Like, this is what we need to prepare ourselves for. We need to prepare ourselves for the Democrats in Congress right now, the ones who are crying and bitching about Trump and Epstein, them turning around and betraying the rest of the country by, going along with whatever false flag operation where how many people are going to die. I mean, and they're going to blame it on Iran. And then all the same fucking people, instead of speaking out and saying, no, this is bullshit, this is Israel or, Mossad or a false flag. You think they're going to stand up and or they're going to bend the knee to Trump and they're going to vote for whatever war he wants. And what is going to happen, Nancy? What is the plan then? Like that. Am I the only one who like, am I crazy? Like, am I fucking crazy?
promise you that after this war is done, the world will never be the same again. So what we will do these next few weeks is use game theory and understand and analyze the geopolitical situation. And so I'm going to teach you the ideas, the theory, the techniques to understand the world around you and make predictions.
And how long have we been aware of game theory? How long have you been living? How have I been living my life, trying to game the fucking system and everybody else? Like, we need to acknowledge that there is a problem also where human beings by nature try to game the system and put themselves in a position of power. And so I'm not saying we need to fucking be communists, but we need to fucking have, checks and balances and fucking redundancies for when that happens. Because right now, our fucking checks and balances, which is supposed to be Congress and they've all been fucking compromised by money, by fucking lobbyist money. And, I don't hear any fucking real solutions. And now we're talking about the end of the world. We're talking about 11 countries being attacked by Iran. And they can sit there and the only option we have is to nuke them, which is just going to destroy the planet and kill everybody. I mean, I don't, if that's the only card we have, nukes, I mean, we've lost, right? I mean, we've lost already. They know it, because by using nukes, we all kill each other. Everybody starts shooting nukes. So that's our fucking, that's our fucking ace in the hole. That's our card. We're going to, blow up the Enterprise. Something better than that, right? I mean, it's got to be a better idea than that. I just don't. I mean, who knows?
We can know if our analysis is correct because all this is happening in real time, and so we can test it against reality. All right, so let's go over some basic facts about what's happened so far. So in the early morning of Saturday in Tehran, the Israelis and Americans launched a decapitation strike against the Ayatollah Khamenei, who is the supreme leader of Iran. Now, there are arguments and disputes about as to what happened. The Americans and Israelis said that they had real intelligence about where the leader was, and so they sent airplanes to just bomb the crap out of the place. They also had a spy who was able to record the body of the dead Ayatollah, and then this was announced. At first, the Iranians denied this, and the Iranians insisted he was still alive, but eventually, state media admitted that he did die in the airstrike. But then what they also said is that the Ayatollah, he's 86 years old, and he chose to die. He could have gone to Moscow, but instead he chose to stay in Tehran and die for his people. But not only that, but he died along many of his relatives. He died along with his daughter, his son-in-law, his grandchildren. So many of the family died in this assault.
So basically his daughter, his son-in-law, his granddaughter, so like his closest family. Jesus. These people are murderers, dude. Like, why did they have to kill the family? Jeez.
Also, there's been reporting that he had prostate cancer. Okay, so he was going to die fairly soon as well.
And so instead of waiting for him to die, we start World War III. what the fuck, people? Seriously, I mean, do you see how like no one is no one with any fucking real intelligence or wisdom is at the wheel? Like our country is being run by the fucking Illuminatis or whatever.
So, what you need to understand first about the war is that even though the Americans and the Israelis claim great success in decapitating the leadership of the Iranians, from the Iranian perspective, this is a martyrdom. Martyrdom, okay? And so the religion of the Iranians is called Shia Muslim. And this is different from Sunni Muslim. So Sunnis are the majority. They're about 9% of all Muslims in the world. The Shia have always been the minority. And as such, they've always been persecuted. So in the Shia faith, the core value, the force that binds everyone together and gives them purpose and meaning in life, that galvanizes them into action, is the idea of martyrdom, which forces jihad. You sacrifice yourself for your religion, sacrifice yourself for the common good. So think of the death of Khamenei as a sacrifice, a self-sacrifice, in order to motivate the Iranians in this war, okay? So that's the first thing you need to understand.
So this is a fucking religious war, is what he's saying, right? I mean, that's what he's saying. He's saying that this is literally a religious war. So I don't understand what he means by he could have gone to Moscow. Like, what does that mean? That they called him and they're like, hey, if you don't leave, we're gonna blow your. Let's do it. I don't know what that means, but the rest of the thing about them, like that's their religion and he's their leader. And like, imagine if like we killed their Pope. That's exactly what I was saying yesterday. So you think that we'll be okay, Nancy? You think this isn't World War III? I hope so.
For the Iranians, this is not a geopolitical war. This is not an economic war. This is not a war of resistance. This is a jihad. Okay? It's a war against the great Satan to avenge their leader. They will fight to the death. All right? That's number one. Number two is this. Also that morning, when the Ayatollah was killed, the Israelis struck a school in the south of Tehran, killing about 150 school children. These are girls in primary school. Wow. And again, there's a lot of debate and argument as to what happened. The Israelis said that, first of all, the school was next to a military base. We were targeting the military base. And second of all, it wasn't us which struck the school. It was a air defense missile that went off course. Okay? And the Iranians insisted no. The Israelis purposefully attacked the school to kill the school children. And then you're like, why would the Israelis do that?
Because they're fucking monsters. Because they're fucking monsters, dude. That's why. We know that because they've done it before. That it's their tactics. They want people to hate them so that then they have to, unite. Really?
Within these few years, well, we've seen what they've done in Gaza, in Palestine to the Palestinians. And it's pretty consistent what the Israelis have been doing.
Yes.
All right? So this action against the Israelis, it's meant to show to themselves and the world that we are now all in. Okay? We've made the sacrifice. We are now committed to this war, to winning this war at all costs. And this action has also provoked the Iranian people to resist with their full might, okay? So I want you to keep this in mind. And again, we don't have complete evidence.
So not only, all right, let's just be clear. So not only did they kill their leader and martyr him, but they also attacked a school of young girls. And so they're just like, fuck you. You know, they know the military knows they did it on purpose. They targeted the school and they used the fact that it was an excuse, because it's next to a base. So
that it's the Israelis who did this, but given past actions from the Israelis, this is fairly consistent with what they've done. Okay, so
what they've done, what we've done, because we've also funded this. We funded them. If they didn't have the money, they wouldn't be able to do any of this. They wouldn't be able to fucking blow up schools like this, okay? This is our tax dollars, okay? So we're all complicit. Let's not fucking lie to ourselves.
We can assume that this is something the Israelis did. Why they did this, what the purpose is something we will discuss as we move on, okay? It's very complicated. Next, I want to show you this. This is Dubai. And Dubai is considered one of the wealthiest, safest cities in the world. There are thousands, tens of thousands of Westerners who move to Dubai because it's clean, you don't pay any taxes, you make a lot of money, and there are great restaurants. And this is really the economic model of Dubai. It's one of the GCC countries, okay? The Gulf coastal countries. And for the longest time, Dubai had a really good deal because they were under the protection of the American military. So they didn't have to pay for defense. And then they were in the Middle East, which is the oil producing center of the world. And so they focus on aviation. They focus on logistics. They focus on finance, on tourism. They became extremely wealthy, right? I'm not sure if you've taken Emirates, one of the best airlines in the world. So their airport, Dubai Airport, is the busiest in the world. And Dubai, for the longest time, was flourishing under American protection. And Dubai said to the world, listen, we're like Switzerland. We're neutral. We don't want any involvement in any wars. We're here just to take care of our citizens, to make sure everyone has a good time, to make money. We're like Switzerland. We're neutral. Dubai Airport is the busiest in the world. And Dubai, for the longest time, was flourishing under American protection. And Dubai said to the world, listen, we're like Switzerland. We're neutral.
Okay. I didn't understand what he meant there. So he's saying that Dubai, I thought like the Americans were saying that. So no. He's saying that. All right, it's 9 o'clock. I like my do you like the thumbnail, Nancy? I love the thumbnail, the Teddy versus Terminators. All right, hold on. I'm gonna hold on.
We don't want any involvement in any wars. We're here just to take care of our citizens, to make sure everyone has a good time, to make money. And then right after the war started, the Iranians attacked the GCC, okay? Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, they attacked these places. And these places were like, what's going on? We're neutral, man. We're not involved in this war. And the airport was shut down in Dubai. At one point, the rich people in Dubai were willing to pay about $250,000 US just to get on a plane and get out of there. Okay? So the reality is this. For the longest time, Dubai had a reputation for being safe, and that's why people moved their money there. Guess what, guys? After what the Iranians did, it's dead. Dubai as a city, in the long term, it is dead. Because you're a wealthy Westerner, you're not going to move to a place where it could be attacked anytime by the Iranians. You might move to Singapore, you might move to Hong Kong, Japan, South America, but you're not moving to Dubai, okay? So the big question for us is, why do the Iranians do this? It was the Israelis and Americans who attacked you, why go after the GCC? All right? And not only that, but they're escalating the attacks against the GCC. So this is something that we will look at very closely today. Well, the short answer is because these places, even though they pretend to be neutral, they house the American military. They allow the Israelis and the Americans to use their airspace to attack Iran from. All right? So this is Bahrain. Now, Bahrain is interesting, okay? Because I want you guys to remember this. But Bahrain will probably be one of the major centers of this conflict. Because, first of all, this is the American Fifth Fleet. All right? This is their naval base in the Middle East. And as you can see, the Iranians are attacking it with missiles. And it's being blown up. Bahrain is interesting because it has about 50% or even more, okay, Shia, which is the religion.
Hold on, I'll show it to you. Hold on, give me 1 second. Where is it? Where is it? It's up here. Teddy's versus Terminator. This is it, people. This is what I mean. This is what we're fighting. I mean, that's us. That's me right there. Fighting the Terminators. Because you morons, you know, couldn't fucking think yourselves out of a paper bag. I mean, right? I mean, like, I can't always see them. They're so small. That's what she said. But okay. Not to me, not to Robbie. All right. Huh? That's a good one. I like that one. Okay. So, no, not this one. This one. Yeah, go Teddy's.
Of the Iranians. But the people in charge has about 50% or even more, okay, Shia, which is the religion of the Iranians. But the people in charge are the Sunnis. And so what makes this strike really important from our perspective is, first of all, not only are the Iranians attacking US military assets, not only are they destroying the economies of the GCC, but they're also trying to ignite a religious war, right? Because you're Shia, you're loyal to the Ayatollah. And if he's dead, then you must, as a religious obligation, now commit jihad against your enemies. And it's no different in other religions where, listen, if you want to...
Okay, and so you're telling me that our CIA or Mossad or Trump or his advisors, they didn't know that by killing this person, they would martyr him and create this problem where now they're willing to fight to the death? That is ridiculous. Like, this is literally the worst idea. I mean, this is like, as a government, like, if Trump made the decision to kill the, Ayatollah, which obviously he did, then he has ruined us, and he should be held accountable for that. I mean, seriously, what fucking moron would make that fucking calculation? That's crazy, especially given the circumstances of where we are. No, like, something tells me that, like, in a way, he didn't fucking like he was powerless. Like someone else ordered this. And why? We know why. Because this is what they want. They want their, end of the world circle jerk. They want their doomsday cult, it looks stupid if there's no doomsday, right? I mean, Nancy, but even Trump, I don't think would be this stupid or crazy. Like what I'm saying, Nancy, is I don't know for a fact, but if what Professor Jiang says is true, and there are Freemasons, who are actually running our national security, then and the Freemasons, want their fucking doomsday circle jerk too, just as much as the Jews or the Israelis or whatever, then they wouldn't do some kind of strike from within and blame it on Trump or because Trump, he can't admit that he didn't make this decision, right? I mean, if there was somebody in the government who was able to order this and get this done, this operation, without his fucking approval, like some kind of secret, society with unlimited fucking money, is he going to admit that? No, he could never admit that, right? That's what I'm saying. Like we are fucked 9 fucking ways to Sunday.
Kill the Pope, the Catholics would be really angry at you and they would want to kill you, right?
Exactly.
If he's dead, then you must, as a religious obligation, now commit jihad against your enemies. And it's no different in other religions where, listen, if you want to kill the Pope, the Catholics would be really angry at you and they would want to kill you, right?
Yes.
So now you have the Shia who will probably eventually arise, creating a revolution in Bahrain, okay? So I think Bahrain will be the first to fall. Dubai will probably go bankrupt, okay? But in the long term, we can expect the entire GCC area, including Saudi Arabia, to eventually collapse, okay? And so this is something we'll use game theory to understand.
Exactly, Nancy. And so this is what happens when we don't teach people the difference between, God and religion. I mean, fucking God is one thing and religion is another thing. And look how dangerous fucking religion is. I mean, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, Nancy. I mean, it's like, if I say I'm going to do something and then I fucking do it, like, oh, I'm a fucking prophet. Like if I say something is going to happen and then I cause that thing to fucking happen, but this, it's like like these people really believe it. And so my question is, why do they believe it? Like what proof, do they have where they're like, yes, we need to bring the Jewish people. I mean, let's be clear, okay? What they want is they want their Messiah, and their Messiah, the Jewish Messiah, is the Christian Antichrist. Am I wrong about that? Let me Google that. Hold on. Let's chat GPT this. Hold on. Is the Jewish Messiah the Christian Antichrist? Okay. Okay, Judaism, the Messiah. In Messiah belief, the Messiah is expected to be a human leader from the line of King David, a great teacher of Torah, a political and spiritual leader who will restore Israel, bring peace to the world, rebuild the third temple, and gather the Jewish people back to Israel. Judaism does not believe the Messiah is divine. Jews do not believe the Messiah has come yet, which is why they reject Jesus as the Messiah. So hold on. Okay, so Christianity, the Antichrist. Okay. Will the Antichrist rebuild So this says, short answer, many Christians believe the Antichrist will be connected to a rebuilt Jewish temple, but the Bible clearly says he personally rebuilt it. The idea comes from interpreting several passages together. Will be connected to rebuilt Jewish temple, but the Bible never clearly says he personally rebuilds it. The key passage, the main verse comes in second epistles, apostle. How do you say this word? Epistle to the Thessalonians. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. Hold on. Translate. Okay. I don't hear anything. It's stuck. I think it's stuck. Okay, well, that didn't work. Escalation. Epistle. Okay. Anyways, the main verse comes from second epistle to the Thessalonians. The Thessalonians. It says the Antichrist, called the man of lawlessness, will sit in the temple of God. See, so he is in the temple, declares himself to be God. This implies that a temple must exist for that event to happen. Exactly. Okay. Daniel's prophecy. Another source is Book of Daniel, especially chapter 9. It describes a ruler who makes a covenant for 7 years, stops temple sacrifices halfway through. Many Christians interpret this ruler as the Antichrist. Revelation references. The book of Revelation also refers to a period in the end times. Revelation 11, which again suggests the temple exists during that period. The third temple idea, because the ancient second temple was destroyed by the Romans, some Christians believe a future third temple must be built before the Antichrist appears, but interpretations differ. Some Christians believe the Antichrist helps Israel rebuild it or signs a peace deal allowing it. Others temple is the temple in the prophetic. Others believe the temple in the prophecy is symbolic, not a physical building. Interestingly, this topic also connects to Jewish expectations of the Messiah because Judaism expects the Messiah to rebuild the third temple. That overlap is one reason some Christians speculate that the Antichrist might present himself as the Jewish Messiah. Leader. Okay. Can a third temple be built? Will Muslims? Why? What if what? Then we're fucked, Nancy. It's already too late. Okay, the Temple Mound today. The place where a third temple would be built is the Temple Mound in Jerusalem. The same site is currently home to two of the most important Islamic holy practices, Al-Aqsa Mosque and Dome of the Rock. In Islam, the entire compound is called Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary. Why Muslims would not allow it? For Muslims, allowing a new Jewish temple there would be extremely unlikely for several reasons. One, it is one of Islam's holiest sites. Al-Aqsa Mosque is considered the third holiest site in Islam after Masjid al-Haram, al-Masjid an-Nabawi. Muslims believe the Prophet Muhammad prayed there during the Isla de Miraj. Because of that, the site is considered sacred Islamic land. The current structures sit on the site. Most Jewish traditions say the ancient temples stood roughly where the Dome of the Rock now stands. That means temple would likely require removing Islamic holy structures or building over them. Both options would be seen by Muslims as unacceptable. Political reality. The Temple Mount is one of the most sensitive places on earth. Currently, Israel controls Jerusalem, but the Islamic Waqf religious authority administers the site. Any attempt to change that arrangement could trigger a massive conflict across the Muslim world. So the fact that Israel controls Jerusalem, but they don't control the actual, site. Do you guys think that Israel is going to leave that alone? Here thinks that Israel is just going to be like, oh, shucks, our bad. Never mind. Is that likely? What do you guys think? What do you think, Nancy? All right. Well, anyways, let's get back to this video. Wait, hold on. Could you never have the in type scenarios? Yeah, no. All right, it's not gonna happen. Is that did I ever say that? I don't think I ever said this. Bullets. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You know? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. And yes, and that is a real and exactly. And see, that's why, that's why that thing that you asked me, the other time, I already did that. So don't worry about it, Bullets. Don't worry about it. Remember that thing from that time, from that place? It's done, okay? Anyways. All right. So let's do this. Let's keep fuck, what time is it? Oh. All right, let me take a break real quick. I'll play some more. I still have a little time. Who starts working the first hour of their job anyways, right? I mean, first hour when you get to work, you just hang out. I'm planning my day, okay? Shut up. I'm planning my day.
Understand. All right, let's continue. So we will know how this war develops just based on geography, okay? So this is a map. And this map, even if you don't really know the war, even if you don't know the participants, even if you don't know the weaponry, this map will tell you exactly how this war will progress. All right, so some certain things to keep in mind about this map. This is what we call this area, okay? Really small, it's 33 kilometers wide, okay? People can swim across it. It's really, really narrow, okay? This small area, guys, it's called the Strait of Hormuz, all right? And it's important because it's really the center of the world. This one area is the nexus, the pivot of the world. Let me explain why. First of all, from the GCC, you have 20% of all the world's oil flowing through this narrow strait. Where does it go, guys? It goes to Asia, India, Pakistan, South Korea, China, Japan. India depends on 60% of its oil from this area. China depends on 40%. Japan, 75%. Prime Minister Takaichi of Japan has said that, listen, if the Strait of Hormuz closes, we will run out of oil in about 8-9 months. The entire Japanese economy would collapse in 8-9 months if the Strait of Hormuz were to close. And guess what? The Iranians have closed the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? So we can expect that the entire global economy will suffer greatly over the next few months. All right, so that's point number one. Point number two is, okay, so the GCC sends oil across the Strait of Hormuz, and what do they get back in return? Food, guys. All right, so people don't appreciate the GCC, but it is really the linchpin of the American empire. Because what is the American empire? The American empire is the petrodollar. All right? The idea of the petrodollar is this. The US dollar is worth nothing. It's only valuable if people want it. But the GCC says that if you want oil from us, you have to pay us in US dollars. Okay? Then that is the basis of the value of the US dollar. So if the GCC collapses, the American economy and the American empire both collapsed at the same time.
Are you guys listening to what he's saying? I mean, he just laid out a very, cohesive argument of how we're fucked. Okay, let me rewind this. Okay, hold on. Do you have a way to purify water? Do I have a way to purify water? Like I got a couple of those, chlorine pills, but other than that, boiling water and chlorine pills. I mean, I definitely know where I can find fresh, river water or mountain water near me. I mean, not near me, but within a reasonable distance. But that is a serious concern. I mean, like, if everyone is fighting over the same water, like, yeah, no, seriously, like, in an area of millions. Southern California has millions of people. Okay, so if we were cut off from water or supplies, like, we'd be fucked. Exactly, Nancy. Exactly. Okay, so let's not show our guns. Let's not everybody. You don't know. My drywall could be full of guns. I could have guns in the drywall. You don't fucking know. How the fuck would you know? He's dead. I'm just kidding. Nancy, just die. Let's just die with the masses. I mean, like, you really want to be a survivor? I mean, it sounds exhausting to me. Huh? Yes, exactly. These people are entitled to whatever the Bible says, in the land between the rivers, whatever, like, and there's lots of countries there, lots of different people, lots of different religions, and I don't think they're all gonna, get on board with the apocalypse or creating their AI God or Messiah or whatever the fuck they're trying to do, man. Like,
and they would want to kill you, right? So now you have the Shia who will probably eventually arise, creating a revolution in Iran. Okay, so I think Iran will be the first to fall. Dubai.
So you're prepared for doomsday. Okay, Robbie is prepared for anything. Okay, so I'm adaptable. I will find, I'll pry the CB out of your cold dead hands when you die, when you're dead, when I outlive you. So don't worry. Robbie has fucking stored energy. Remember? I've got all this energy stored. You ain't got no energies stored. Robbie doesn't need medication. What medication do I need? Like, oh shit, I need some weed. We're fucked. Yeah, Robbie's dead. Oh, no, I'll be annoyed for the first couple of weeks of the the first month of the apocalypse, but then I'll be fine, right? I mean, it's a little funny. I mean, yeah, but you're right. It's not funny. Like this. I mean, if he's right, then this is the end of this is like the end. This is like the end of the world that we knew, because our economy is about to collapse, right? I mean, if our economy collapses, which it is because it's a giant fucking Ponzi scheme bubble. No, because I believe that God will provide. I don't worry about, the birds don't worry about, thank you. You too. Robbie will life finds a way. Robbie finds a way. Like I'm more prepared than the average guy. I will say that. Okay. So I'll just outlast, I don't have to outrun, everybody. I just have to outrun the people who are fatter than I am. See how, and then just beat up all the skinny people or just wait till they, die of starvation. Meanwhile, I'm living, I'm living off my stored energy over here. Well, that's good, Nancy. You see, I mean, like, I'm not on all kinds of crazy fucking medication like some people are. I mean, imagine the people who are on diabetes or insulin or dialysis. Oh, yeah, they're all dead. They're all fucking dead.
Will probably go bankrupt, okay? But in the long term, we can expect the entire GCC area, including Saudi Arabia, to eventually collapse, okay? And so this is something we'll use game theory to understand. All right.
That's my thing. Saudi Arabia is rich, so how would they collapse? So that's the part that I'm really interested in what he has to say here. Okay, so pay attention, people. Okay, Nancy, ask yourself this question. This is not what I'm saying, Nancy. This is not what I'm saying, Nancy. What I'm saying is, would Israel or, Mossad or even our CIA, which is most likely compromised, would they conduct some kind of false flag, scenario and then blame it on Iran? Okay, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, I'm moving to China, Nancy. Let's move to China, Nancy. Let's I'll go with you. We'll start a life. We'll be happy, Nancy. Comrade Robbie, Comrade Nancy. Come on, let's do it. All right, we're doing it.
Let's continue. So we will know how this war develops just based on geography, okay? So this is a map. And this map, even if you don't really know the war, even if you don't know the participants, even if you don't know the weaponry, this map will tell you exactly how this war will progress. All right, so some certain things to keep in mind about this map. This is what we call this area, okay? Really small, it's 33 kilometers wide, okay? People can swim across it. It's really, really narrow, okay? This small area, guys, it's called the Strait of Hormuz. All right? And it's important because it's really the center of...
Okay, Asia. There's got to Thailand, some parts of Asia, somewhere there. Start Googling it, Nancy. First, we'll take a trip, check it out, test out the weed, and then we'll make a decision. All right?
The world. This one area is the nexus, the pivot of the world. Let me explain why. First of all, from the GCC, you have 20% of all the world's oil flowing through this narrow strait. Where does it go, guys? It goes to Asia, India, Pakistan, South Korea, China, Japan. India depends on 60% of its oil from this area. China depends on 40%. Japan, 75%.
Wow.
Prime Minister Takaichi of Japan has said that, listen, if the Strait of Hormuz closes, we'll run out of oil in about 8-9 months. the entire Japanese economy would collapse in 8-9 months if the Strait of Hormuz were to close. And guess what? The Iranians have closed the Strait of Hormuz.
So do you see? This is it. This is how they win. That's how they beat us. Like they've figured. I mean, like anyone, they have eyes. They're human beings, just as smart, as intelligent as we are. And all they had to do was say, "How do we hurt this people the most?" I know, the fucking oil. God fucking damn it, dude. And they actually have the ability or the leverage to make it happen. And we're doing what? We're fucking martyring their leaders. Southern California, I don't know, Nancy. Maybe the Central California, but there are so many people in Southern California, Nancy. Maybe the survivors, like, oh, the rich when they come out of their doomsday bunkers, and Robbie, of course. after I've eaten everybody. After I've eaten everybody. I just turned cannibal. Robbie will survive. I'll eat you right now. Wait a second. Phrasing.
Okay? So we can expect that the entire global economy will suffer greatly over the next few months. All right? So that's point number one. Point number two is, okay, so the GCC sends oil across the Strait of Hormuz, and what do they get back in return? Food, guys.
Yep.
All right, so people don't appreciate the GCC, but it is really the linchpin of the American empire. Because what is the American empire? The American empire is the petrodollar. All right? The idea of the petrodollar is this. The US dollar is worth nothing. It's only valuable if people want it.
Yes.
But the GCC says that if you want oil from us, you have to pay us in US dollars. Okay? Then that is the basis of the value of the US dollar. So, if the GCC collapses,
everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. So you're telling me that we don't have a backup plan for this? And so what? Like, we're just gonna get all our oil from Venezuela now, and everything's gonna be fine? Like, no, man. Like, no, this is not. Like, I already can tell this is not going good. Really? Threads? Huh. They end up suffocating? I mean, yeah, you need fucking air. Exactly. As soon as your air recycler breaks down, you're fucked.
the American economy and the American empire both collapse at the same time. The problem, though, is that GCC is an artificial construct of empire. It does not exist naturally. Why? Because there's no food, there's no oil, no water. Okay, guys? No food, no water. So these cities are able to grow in the millions because of all these petrodollars flowing in. If you close off the Strait of Hormuz, there's no food coming in, right? They're all going to starve.
They're all going to starve.
How much food does the GCC get from overseas? 80%.
80%.
80% of all the food it consumes comes from overseas, that it imports. It doesn't grow by itself, it imports. All right? So the Strait of Hormuz is really key. And again, the Iranians will close it in order to strangle the global economy and therefore bankrupt the American empire. All right? Second thing you will notice is these mountains. These mountains is what we call Iran. All right, this is Iran. This is GCC. Okay, this is not a fair matchup, right? Because these are mountains. And what can you do in mountains? Well, you can hide rocket bases. You can hide drone bases. You can hide missiles. And that's the entire Iranian offensive strategy, all right? from here, they can hide missiles and drones from which to attack the GCC. And what are they attacking? They're attacking three things, right? They're attacking American military bases. American military bases. That's number one. Okay. Is it possible for the Americans to defend against these attacks? The answer is no. It's not. It's the silliest thing in the world. You have all these bases in the Middle East, but you cannot defend them against the Iranians. That's kind of strange. Okay, but that's number one. Number two is oil and energy. How hard is it to blow up an oil field with a drone? Not hard at all. Can you defend these oil fields? No, you cannot. All right. Number three, and this is most important, is water. Okay, you guys don't know this, but the GCC has little access to fresh water. So the only way that it can produce water is what we call desalination plants. Okay, these factories that take salt water and then through electrochemical process turn it into fresh water for the population to use. 60%.
Oh man. Oh, Nancy, this does not sound good. Does this sound good to you? So all they have to do is basically starve out all these countries. And then what? And then Israel gets them? Like that, is that the plan? Like, holy shit. Like, that's crazy.
Percent of the water supply, and then you see, and then through electrochemical process, turn it into fresh water for the population to use. 60% of the water supply, and as you see, comes from desalination plants, okay? 60%.
60.
Is it hard to blow up a desalination plant using a drone? The answer is, it's very easy. You understand? Okay? So you have this absurd situation where Iran is a mountain fortress where it can hide its offensive capacity, and the GCC, it's just this desert, this flat desert, and it is exposed to attack, and there's nothing it can do about it, okay? So at any point in this war, the Iranians can choose to just destroy the entire GCC, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it, okay? But Iran also has a weakness, okay? And this is fundamental. So Iran also has a water problem, okay? So for the longest time, they suffered a drought issue, okay? Just climate change. And so what the plan of the Israelis and Americans is destroy the water supply of the Iranians. Because the fortress, it is a mountain fortress, but it can also be a mountain prison as well, where people are trapped inside with no access to water. Okay, so what we're going to see right now, we're already seeing attacks on civilian infrastructure, hospitals. In the future, you'll see attacks on water supply, on dams, on reservoirs, on power plants. The point, the idea is to make Iran so inhabitable that the people will have to rebel against the people, or there'll be a refugee crisis in Iran. Okay? So as you can see from this map, this war, it is the end of the world. Okay? Both sides have the potential to destroy each other. It's really a question of how far do they want to go. All right? We can also.
So it's basically like they it's a stalemate. It's a stalemate. And they have to like no matter what, like, I mean, maybe that is the plan. Maybe we just let them blow each other. We just let them kill each other. We let them blow each other up, but then that kills us too, because if they nuke each other, then we all die. Like, we're talking about like global, winters and fucking the sky, you know, bueno, Nancy, no bueno.
Also say this is almost a game of chicken. Okay? We can blow each other up. How far do you want to go? And the problem is this. The problem is that the Iranians are Shia, which believes in martyrdom. And you've killed the religious leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. So
they're willing to die. They want to die. They want a glorious death. That's what they want. Fuck. They want a glorious death. They don't want to go out by fucking drought.
going to go very, very far. Which believes in martyrdom. And you've killed the religious leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. So they're willing to go very, very far. The GCC countries are Muslim, but they're materialistic. They love money. And also, most of the population are expatriates, foreigners. 90% of Dubai are foreigners. Guess what's going to happen if they suffer? They're going to run away. Okay? So this is not a fair matchup. The big question that people have is, first of all, are the Americans going to use ground troops? Because the only way that you can defeat Iran is by using ground troops, okay? That's a big question we'll look at in the next few weeks. Will America send its army, 500,000, 2 million soldiers to topple the government? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, nuclear weapons Iran is by using ground troops, okay? That's a big question we'll look at in the next few weeks.
No.
Will America send its army, 500,000, 2 million soldiers to topple the government? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, nuclear weapons. If you're losing a war, would you choose to use nuclear weapons? Okay, that's another big question that we have, okay? Another big question that we have is who gets involved? Because this situation is so dire that Europe, okay, specifically Germany, France, and Britain are talking about entering this war. And guess what? If that happens, it is possible that Russia and China will also enter this war on the side of the Iranians. This is World War III, okay? Because of the importance of the Strait of Hormuz, because of the importance of the Middle East, everyone has to get involved at some point.
Jesus Christ, he's right.
And we're going to use game theory to
because if they don't get involved, then they risk their own survival. So they have to get involved because they need the fucking oil. Oh shit. Right? Right? They have to get involved. They have to get involved. Yeah, but if they want to die through, through a religious war, like they don't care. They want to, that's their path to heaven. Like this is why religion is so dangerous, because if you believe the only way that you get to Valhalla is through fucking dying in battle, then you're fucking gonna kill somebody or get killed by somebody in a violent fucking death. That's crazy, man. This is the world we live in, people. These are the adults. These are the people that are in charge. And I mean, I really thought that we lived in a world where, we didn't make real world decisions based on fairy tales and fucking, religion belief. Like, we don't live in that world. I don't know what the fuck happened, where we went wrong, but holy shit. Like, our government is being run by like religious zealots who are either trying to populate the world. Like, I don't see the end game, like the Illuminati's. Like, the thing that bothers me is that there was a period in the world's or the time where they needed people. They needed human beings for, to make things, to manufacture things, to make money. But now we're, if we're a country that doesn't manufacture it and all we do is consume it, we're a liability. We're another hand, we're another mouth to feed. So it benefits them to like depopulate us. I mean, we're just a welfare check at this point, or when it gets to that point, right? I mean, has it? I don't know. All I know is that all the people that went to go take the jab, like, I don't know, man. Like that to me, like that's another thing. Like you let these people jab you up, and you don't even know what the fuck that's gonna have. Like that's another fucking thing. Like
really try to understand what's happening on the ground and where this could lead us. Okay? All right. You guys understand? All right. All right. And we're going to use game theory to really try to understand what's happening on the ground and where this could lead us. Okay? All right. You guys understand? All right. All right. Let's continue. Okay, so again, there are American bases all over the Middle East. And originally, these bases were established to protect them from basically their own people. Okay, these are monarchies that were imposed on these nations by the Anglo-American Empire, the British first, and then the Americans came to support these monarchies. And so they provide defense. But then you're like, wait a minute here. I mean, didn't we just say that these American bases can actually defend these people, that they're exposed? And the answer is yes, that's true. But remember, like the American military was built during the Cold War. Okay? And the Cold War was a war between the Soviet Union and America. And so the Cold War was defined as something called MAD.
Okay, and who would be on board with that? Like who? Like what? Like is that what Jesus wants? Would Jesus want Armageddon? Like I don't understand. Like I don't think that's what Jesus wants. Like I really don't. Or God wants. I don't think God wants us to kill ourselves. I think God wants us to figure this out. God wants us to, that we're already in the kingdom of heaven, I guess. I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, we're, a blip. What is it? Nihilism. But I'm optimistic, like we can turn this around. We don't have to destroy ourselves. We can ascend. Maybe some will, maybe some won't. We'll see. We'll see.
Mutually assured destruction, because both had nuclear weapons, okay? So they didn't really go to war against each other. And so in other words, these bases aren't really meant to defend these nations from other enemies. They're really meant to impose American authority in the Middle East, okay? And it's the idea of this. It's the idea that empire, it is really a image. It is a hallucination. It is an idea. Empire.
Maybe the Jewish Messiah will set him straight. There's a thought. All right, it's already 10, so I'm gonna get to work. I got shit to do, so I'm gonna throw this shit on in the background and listen to the rest. Maybe I'll come back and maybe at lunch or after work, like if I don't get a chance to really pay attention. But there's the link if you guys want to check that out. All right. Tell me what you guys think. All right. Have a great day. Stay out of trouble. Be productive. Behave. Life is short. Make it a great day. Women are evil, with a few exceptions. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And all that jazz. Bye. Later. See you later, Nancy. Stay out of trouble.